Planning a trip to Europe or dreaming of retiring here, I lost a lot of money my first week in Europe. And I'm not alone. I saw people burn over $1,200 doing simple mistakes. Travelers who overspend on food, get lost in train schedules with different tariff levels, fall for scams, or rack up huge roaming bills. I made all those mistakes myself, some when I came to Europe for the first time, others when I moved here permanently. But here's the good news. Today I'll show you the apps that fix many of those problems, turning travel headaches into huge wins. You'll learn in just a few minutes how to eat fancy restaurant food for much cheaper prices, how to travel stress-free, how to learn a new language in record time, and even how to get quick cash compensation from airlines when they mess up. Let's jump straight into the 5 apps that can save you thousands in Europe. Too good to go. Imagine paying less than half price for restaurant quality meals in Europe. That's exactly what Too Good To Go makes possible, and for many travelers, it can be a complete game changer. When people first move abroad, one of the first shocks is the cost of food, especially eating out. If you do that frequently, it adds up quickly, and to cut down expenses, many resort to the same fast food chains they had back home. But there is always that feeling of missing out on proper local meals. Too Good To Go solves this disconnect by linking up with restaurants, hotels, and bakeries that have unsold meals left at the end of the day. Instead of throwing them away, they package them into what are called surprise bags and sell them at a fraction of the usual price. You don't know exactly what you're getting, but you do know it's quality food that just has not been sold. Even high-end places take part. 4- and 5-star hotels, as well as popular eateries across Europe, regularly use the platform to keep good food from going to the trash. Here is one personal example. Close to my home, there is a 4-star hotel. Very often, they offer breakfast surprise bags in the Too Good To Go app. The price is equivalent to 5.1 euros, and it comes with a variety of breakfast options that the hotel serves for its guests. All that I need to do is order the breakfast package on Too Good To Go and pick there at 10:30 in the morning, so just after their breakfast end. And now a surprising thing. These packages are very, very generous, with food enough for 2 people. The quality is what you would expect from a good 4-star hotel. Since I downloaded the app, I have already ordered 110 surprise packages from different restaurants, hotels, and bakeries. Too Good To Go operates in multiple countries across Europe, so once you get used to using it in one location, you can rely on it again when you move on to another. The main issue here is that, well, you might gain some weight if you use it too much. It turns dining from an overpriced tourist trap into something affordable, authentic, and even exciting, like unwrapping a piece of the local cuisine every evening. And talking about exciting, money-saving things, if you do enjoy our database and research-driven videos that you put a lot of work to do, I would be glad if you could click on the like and subscribe button. It would be such a great help for us. Get paid when airline mess up by using AirHelp. There is a big difference in what happens when an airline disrupts your plans in the United States versus Europe. In the US, even if your flight is canceled or delayed for several hours, you often leave with little more than a tired sorry from the staff, and sometimes not even that. In Europe, however, the rules change completely. Air passengers are protected by strict laws that can force airlines to pay out real compensation when they fail to deliver on time. Many Americans visiting Europe are unaware of this. They sit for hours in airports, assume the delay is just part of the travel experience, and never realize they are entitled to hundreds of euros under EU regulations. But there is a catch. Airlines know the system is complicated. The forms are full of legal language, deadlines are tricky, and most passengers give up before they even see a single euro. This is where AirHelp steps in. It's an app designed to make the process so simple that you do not need to argue at the counter or send endless emails. All you do is enter your flight details or upload your boarding card, and the app instantly checks if the disruption qualifies for compensation. If it does, AirHelp takes over every step, from handling the paperwork to dealing with the airline directly. Some people only discovered through AirHelp that they were entitled to the equivalent of $650 per passenger. That means a family of 4 can leave what felt like a ruined trip and later get thousands transferred into their account. And there is no risk because you pay nothing out of our pocket. AirHelp only takes a cut if your claim is successful. Instead of walking away frustrated from the gate, you can end up with money back in your account. And by the way, I'm considering making a video about the best airlines, especially low cost, to travel here in Europe, from my personal opinion, after over 120 flights. If you would like such a video, let me know in the comment section. Of course, smooth travel does not depend only on flights. Living in Europe also means facing the challenge of language every single day. But the solution for that is easier than you imagine. What if you could learn a new language not by sitting in a classroom, but by reading news, books, and movies on topics that you already enjoy? For anyone who has moved to Europe, language is usually the single biggest obstacle. In fact, in some of my previous videos about France, I stressed that the first thing you should do before moving to France is to learn the language. The same is valid for southern Italy, for example. When you learn the local language, your interactions with the locals improve drastically. You leave behind the worry of walking away from conversation and not making new friends because you can't talk. That constant barrier makes people feel like outsiders. The problem is that most adults don't enjoy learning language when it's presented as a game or a fixed course. Many apps push quick wins, matching words with pictures, answering multiple choice questions. At first, it feels engaging, but a few weeks later, it hits a wall. You realize you can't hold a simple conversation and your motivation drops. This is exactly where LingQ takes a very different approach. LingQ is built on immersion with material you already like. Instead of handing you canned lessons, it lets you import articles, podcast transcripts, or even TV series subtitles directly into the app. You can read them and listen at the same time with every word clickable. Unknown words are highlighted, and each time you mark them as known, the app keeps track. Over time, this builds a personal map of your vocabulary, showing clear progress without making you feel trapped in a formal class. There is also a community layer to it. You can ask thousands of native speakers to correct your practice tests, and you correct the tests of people learning your native language. That makes it far less isolating than studying through a textbook alone. Personally, I use LingQ to learn Polish, which is considered one of the most difficult European languages, and I had fun in the process. Recently, I began Italian the same way, and I've even thought about documenting my journey learning this beautiful language in a new YouTube channel, but I'm not sure about that yet. For older learners, LingQ has another advantage. It does not rush you. You can set your own pace, read or listen in small bursts, and there is no pressure to perform instantly. Once communication feels manageable, another challenge comes up: how to stay connected affordably while crossing new borders. But before, I have some really good news. My Expat Wealth and Lifestyle Compass, valued at $180, is yours free for a limited time. Receive our 74-page analysis of affordable cities in Spain, Italy, and France, our guide for zero income tax countries that can save you up to $15,600, and the checklist that prevents costly mistakes. Don't let your chances go away. Scan this QR code now and join us for free. Let's say you just landed in a new country. You are tired, you need directions, maybe even a quick ride from the airport, and suddenly you check your phone and realize that your data would cost $10 per each megabyte. That means even opening a map could burn through your budget before you leave the terminal. This is exactly what many travelers face in Europe, and that might be very costly. People either keep swapping out SIM cards at each border or accept roaming fees that climb higher than the flight ticket itself. It creates an ongoing hassle. Every time you cross into another country, you are never sure if your phone charges will multiply in the background. Being disconnected is one of the most stressful parts because you rely on maps, tickets, and translations the moment you step off the train or bus. Saily changes this whole routine by offering ESim plans that you activate instantly with a QR code. Backed by Nord Security, it covers not only single countries, but whole regions and even global options. The setup is paperless, no waiting line at kiosks, just scan and connect before you even leave the airport. Besides data itself, Saily also adds built-in ad blocking and browsing privacy similar to a VPN. That can be reassuring when you're constantly logging into public Wi-Fi spots while traveling. Payments are prepaid with no hidden fees, so you know your exact costs up front, and there is 24/7 live chat support can step in if you hit a technical snag while abroad. To picture how seamless it feels, think about crossing from Turkey to Greece by ferry. With traditional SIMs, you'd be scrambling for a new card, losing connection mid-ride, or worse, losing hundreds with roaming charges. It happened with me. With Saily, your phone stays online without interruption, without extra charges. That means no panicking about tickets, routes, or last-minute charges while traveling. And even better, no abusive roaming charges. You just relax and stay connected. With your connectivity covered, the next hurdle to crack is figuring out Europe's rail network, which can feel effortless in the right conditions, but overwhelming if you don't know where to start. Imagine this. You arrive at a busy European train station and feel completely lost. The departure board is full of words you don't understand. The platforms are changing constantly, and you are not sure if the ticket in your hands is even valid for the train you want. For many first-time travelers and even long-term expats, this is where the stress of rail travel begins. The problem starts with fragmented information. Each country has its own rail website, often written in the local language, using terms that are unfamiliar. This confusion also leads people to miss cheaper advanced fares, since figuring out cross-border journeys requires hours of juggling separate websites. Rail Europe was originally founded in the 1930s as a central hub for international rail travel, and today the system has gone fully digital. Rather than dealing with scattered national sites, you can plan and buy tickets from dozens of different rail operators, all in one place. Everything is displayed in English, with the option to pay in US dollars or other familiar currencies. A key advantage is the convenience of mobile tickets and seat reservations. There you can also buy rail passes, tickets that allow you to travel as many times you want during a certain period of time. For anyone less comfortable with apps, Rail Europe also allows printable tickets, and seat assignments are shown visibly, reducing stress when boarding. Customer reviews highlight the convenience of everything being centralized and easy to manage. It's a unified system that replaces the fragmented process of European rail travel. Instead of checking multiple websites, you gain a smooth path across Europe, all from a single booking platform. Now, with all that current geopolitical tensions in the world, you might wonder if Europeans are still welcoming Americans. The answer is yes, and in some countries, Americans are even more than welcome. They are genuinely appreciated. To discover which countries I'm talking about, check this video here at your left. And join my Patreon for all the sources, charts, and maps from our videos, plus a chat so I can answer your questions. Tier 2 includes my top 3 ebooks on living and retiring abroad. Scan the QR code today.